I have beef with whoever has priority decision on Destiny 2 trailers. Not because they're bad, not because of the talented people who make them, not because Bungie doesn't know how to make the hype anymore, but because somewhere along the way, they stopped making this. Guardians, let's do a breakdown, because they stopped making trailers that made you feel like you were stepping into something bigger than the game. Trailers that didn't just sell you on a season, they sold you a life as a Guardian.
What do you think is down there?
Death.
Theirs or ours?
Let's find out.
I hate when she does that.
And today, it feels different. Now, it feels like trailers are just selling the next update, the next season, the next checklist you need in Destiny to play. But back then, these weren't trailer updates. They were trailers you were excited to discuss with your loved ones, whether they wanted to hear about it or not. What happened to this Destiny? Because these trailers didn't feel like ads. They felt like moments in time, like footage on the life of a Guardian's day. Instead, it looks like, here's what's expected next season. Once you buy it. These weren't just trailers, they were live action, cinematic, and chaotic. Actual Hollywood level marketing. They didn't sell you a game. They sold you a life as a Guardian. And then Bungie just dropped live action trailers like, nah, and never looked back. Let's be real. These trailers had no business being this good. Real actors, big cinematic tone, humor, personality, and chaos. Choosing the Beastie Boys music was what actually hit. They made Destiny feel like an event before you even pressed install. They weren't selling gameplay, they were selling Destiny identity.
Venus, baby! Venus!
And don't get me wrong, Bungie still makes amazing trailers. Whoever makes them, thank you. They can make anything look good. They turned a seasonal content trailer like Ash and Iron into something that looked massive, even when the actual content didn't always match that energy. They did amazing with what they had to work with. The content of Ash and Iron is exactly my point, because these newer trailers aren't the same thing. They hype what's already coming, but these old trailers did something different. They pulled people in. Back then, Destiny reached out to you. You didn't just have to go looking for it. It grabbed you the second you saw it. Now, Bungie assumed you're already paying attention. Lately, with diminishing player numbers, I don't know, Bungie. I want you to succeed and be better than ever. But I'm not blind, nor stupid. Something got lost. Not the quality, but the purpose. Because Bungie didn't stop making these because they couldn't. They stopped because they forgot who they were for. These trailers weren't just marketing for players already interested in the game. They were invitations for everyone, for the curious, for the people on the edge, for the people who just needed a reason to jump in. And you can see this shift if we break them down. 11 years ago, Become Legend. This one hits differently because it's not chaos, it's identity. It opens calm, grounded, almost quiet, then slowly builds into something bigger. Guardians aren't framed as soldiers. They're framed as something inevitable, something larger than life. And everything leads to one idea: become legend. That's not gameplay marketing, that's mythology marketing. It's telling you, you don't just play this, you define yourself in it. It's possibly the reason I am how I am. This trailer isn't trying to explain Destiny, it's trying to bring you into it. New legends will rise. Then the tone shifts. Now, it's not just about becoming a legend. It's about what comes after. It opens in chaos, the city under pressure, everything unstable, everything is at risk. Then Cade 6 cuts through it with humor and, most importantly, personality. That contrast matters because it says, even at the end of the world, this universe still has personality. I won't say it, but some of you understand my thoughts on the current narrative of the story. Another topic for another day, I suppose. Okay, let's get back on topic. Then we move into Fireteam energy. Guardians grouping up, different classes, different styles, one direction. and the tone shifts. We are losing. No. This is humanity. We're not done yet. And the final line lands. New legends will rise. Not players, not content, legends. That's the framing shift. That's Bungie telling you the world is broken, but the people inside it will define what comes next. Then there's this one, the most underrated tone shift Bungie ever made. It starts like a dance battle. Just rhythm, movement, high energy. Guardians aren't introduced as soldiers, they're introduced as performers. And that changes everything, because now Destiny isn't just war, it's expression. Everything becomes stylized. Movement over realism. Personality over explanation. Energy over structure. Even combat feels choreographed. Like a performance instead of a fight. And the music drives everything like a stage battle. No tension, no fear, just energy. And that's the point. This trailer isn't trying to make Destiny serious. It's trying to make it feel alive. Because the message becomes, in Destiny, you become dance. Why does everything have to have a meaning? Why can't Bungie just be like, let's shoot a dance scene. Look at all these actors in costumes. Let's have a dance-off. And they did. When you connect all of the trailers together, one says, become something greater. Another says, the world needs new legends. Another says, this is how it feels to live inside Destiny. That's not random marketing. That's a plan. A system to the emotional pipeline in Destiny. But somehow, along the way, the system changed. Now, I'm not saying every trailer needs to be live action. I'm not saying Bungie has to go full Hollywood again. But there was something about these older trailers that hit differently. Watching them now, they remind me of a game that existed. They reminded me that I once installed the game because of how the world of Destiny had its original and dynamic personality. And I think Destiny needs that again. Not more noise, not more scheduled, not more seasonal checklists. That feeling again, that something is calling you back. That Bungie is reaching out to me instead of knocking on my door, selling me the next armor set separate from its seasonal content. Because if Bungie dropped even one of these again in the new expansion today, it wouldn't just hype the community, it would wake them up. And maybe that's the real difference. Back then, Destiny didn't wait for you to come back. Destiny came after you.